Hey guys, and welcome back to yet another video. And today's video, as you can see in the title, is going to be another safety style talking video. But I'm only doing this video basically because of the last little while I saw a couple of videos online. One in particular, an upcoming YouTuber. I'm not going to name any names, where he talked about that he got all of his items and belongings stolen pretty much from his apartment in I think Copacabana or Rio somewhere. I know it was in the South Zone. If you write in the wall, I'm not going to confirm who, so just putting that out there. I just don't think it's that appropriate, but I need to use this as a specific, like an example to talk about why safety is so important here, and also reiterating the fact that it's still a pretty safe place to come to, so long as you use common sense, okay? Now, I don't know the real story of this particular person, how it happened or whatever. I just know, and a lot of you probably know this, is if you've been to Brazil or if you're travelers or whatever, like what common sense things you should follow, using your gut instinct, making basic decisions that that in order to avoid getting yourself into deep shit. Like one of those would be, don't bring people you don't know back to your place, especially if you got a lot of expensive shit in your apartment, like drones or cameras or whatever. If you're just coming here for vacation and you don't have a lot of expensive things, and I still wouldn't advise it, bringing some random person to your place. For guys, I guess that would be a girl for sure. I don't recommend it. I would try to find like another place to bring them, maybe like go to a motel or rent another room somewhere where you don't have all your expensive stuff, should you be inclined to bring that person back with you, especially if you don't have anywhere to go. But never, just never bring them if you can help it. Don't bring them to your place unless you're absolutely sure, which no one ever can be sure, that this person's not going to rob you blind or even poison you or whatever. Who knows? Like, these people, they exist out there, and from what I understand, Colombia seems to be the worst of the two, like worse than Rio. I haven't been to Colombia, so I can't confirm that. I can't say for myself. Excuse me. But I've heard stories about that place too. But Rio, come on, you gotta use your goddamn common sense. I don't know. I know a lot of guys who have brought girls back to their place or whatever, and it's just, I don't know. You have to really, really be trusting that person, or make sure your belongings and things are locked up, But just this one specific person who I'm talking about, like, how could you be so careless as to get poisoned, which is, I guess it's called the good night Cinderella drug. In Portuguese it would be Boa Noite Cinderella or something like that. But how did you get your drink poisoned? How did you get them? How were they able to drop that into your drink? I can't. I don't personally like accept drinks from random people or strangers. If I'm gonna get drinks from someone, I'll just like, yeah, they can buy it, and it have to be like enclosed. And I don't mean to be like paranoid or anything like that, but you just got to be super careful in this country, like, especially if you don't speak the language. If you speak the language, you'll feel a little bit more comfortable because you can, ask for help. You can speak to authorities if you need to report an incident. But damn, like, I just see so many people just making such rookie mistakes. We're not all perfect people. We do make mistakes as we're traveling, but come on, you can't be so naive and trusting in Rio de Janeiro. There's just so much shit that happens here. I can't like, beat a dead horse anymore and keep saying how dangerous it can be. For the most part, it is safe. Like, I know that sounds weird that I say there's all these problems, and you've probably seen other videos where people talk about that. But if you use common sense, if you don't get overly intoxicated where you're super drunk. And I don't mean the drugs. I mean like if you just don't drink too much and you just don't and you don't black out, nothing's gonna happen to you. I had one blackout here in Rio, and I was lucky that I was with a friend. Okay, I was pretty lucky, and that's actually a very rarity for me. I've since cut back drinking by like 98%. I really don't drink that much anymore. Just a side note, which is very difficult to avoid in Brazil. But I'm just so tired of seeing these like people who don't follow, you know, common sense, common rules of like coming here to Rio. I see so many people walking around with their cell phones just in their hand or in their back pocket. That's the worst. The back pocket shit. Like I'm so overprotective of my phone or my cameras or whatever when I'm out in public. I have no choice but to film, but I'm not gonna put it in my damn back pocket. Come on, like be smarter than that. I even see amongst Brazilians who, I guess a lot of them in Copacabana are tourists from other parts of Brazil, and I'm just thinking, Jesus, I just want to tell this person, like, you know, this, a lot of thieves walk through here, and you know, it's just common. They must not do research or something. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. One time I was at Parque Lage, which is not that far from the Christ statue. It's just below. It's a really, really beautiful park. I'll have a video walking around there at some point. But I saw like these Chinese tourists or Asian tourists, and they clearly weren't from Brazil. And I was thinking like maybe I should pull a prank and go up and just pretend to snatch her phone, but she had it like sort of dangling in her hand on the main street, which is like super busy traffic. But I decided I'll do it a little more you know, diplomatic and not as frightening for her, so that she doesn't think I'm an actual thief. And I sort of just said, hey, you know, you shouldn't be like, you know, dangling your phone out like that. It's kind of like you're going fishing fishing for thieves. So I just had to make this video. I didn't want to do a super long video, but damn guys, take extra precautions being here. You don't want to lose like $5,000-6,000, especially if you're like a YouTuber and you have all this equipment. I mean, hell, you just don't want to get got. It's just how people can go on and do a video about it saying, you know, oh, I got totally robbed, all my stuff got robbed, and then you know, ask people for money. I'm not trying to be insulting. I totally like, I empathize, but damn, just exercise a good amount of caution. You know, don't just throw caution to the wind and be like, oh, nothing's gonna happen. Especially if you're a YouTuber and you're always doing videos in Rio or whatever, and people start to recognize you, so you do start calling attention to yourself by the fame. This one of the reasons why I left Rio. I'm not like famous, and not really. No one really gives a damn. Most of the people are either from the States or other English-speaking countries, so I got that okay. But yeah, I don't want this to sound like a rant or anything like that, because it's not. It's just really. It doesn't make sense to me how so many people can just not take the regular precautions and just think that it's not going to happen to them. So this is probably going to be my last video about safety, because I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point. I mean, obviously my videos don't reach everybody. I'm not naive in that way, but I see other people doing a lot of safety videos and things like that, and it just, you know, you have to realize there's a lot of people here who will look at you like a target because they think they think that you're, you know, rubbing in their face because they don't have money or whatever. Obviously there's the regular fact that it could just be a regular, you know, a criminal. They just want to, that's just what they do, you know. But another reason could be they just want to get one on at the gringo. So just keep that in mind, guys. Learn a little Portuguese so that you can get through a sticky situation. I'll never stop beating the drum of how important it is to learn the language if you're going to spend large periods of time here. So yeah, just use your brain, be extra cautious, make sure you know who's around, you know, keep an eye on your surroundings. Just do extra caution like that. If you're a YouTube creator, if you're a content creator, even more caution for you, because you know they're gonna see a camera or whatever, and they're gonna think, oh, gringo target. You know, not everyone here is a criminal, but there is a large contingent of them. So I'm gonna end the video there, guys. I just needed to sort of, you know, get the point across. You know, if you go online and you see people who are doing videos about how they got robbed or whatever, it's likely that it is happening, but they're not going to ever share the full story. So guys, just be careful out there. Still come to Rio, check it out. Come to Brazil, it's still worth it. The country is still very beautiful, good, nice people, wonderful women, beautiful women. If that's your thing, you'll enjoy yourself. Just do, you know, be smart, and be careful. So that's it for this video, guys. And it's probably going to be my very last video talking about safety. I needed to talk about this, especially after watching this video I watched about a week ago or so. So thanks again, guys, for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Ciao.